almost 10 years since the start of the Flint water crisis. Today, we'll break down parts of our documentary and Drinkable 3 Resilience.
The DHS Quiz Bowl team competed with the best in the state this past weekend. How they did.
And Mary Poppins is back in town. When and how you can watch this year's spring musical. DTV News starts right now.
The varsity Quiz Bowl team had the opportunity to represent Davison at the 2024 NAQT Michigan State Championship over the weekend. Good afternoon, Davison.
The tournament took place at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. There were 24 teams and 137 individuals from all over the state. Davison placed 12th in the competition.
The top three scorers for Davison were Matthew Like, ranking 25th in the competition, Jackson Smith ranking 37, and Andrew Shirkey, who ranked 68th. Great job, and congrats to all Quiz Bowl members who competed.
Opening night for the DHS Spring Musical is this Thursday night. The musical will be on Friday and Saturday afternoon. This year, you can buy your tickets ahead of time and choose your seat online. The link to purchase the tickets can be found in the daily announcements or by scanning the QR code on your screen. You can also buy them at the door or in the main office with cash only. Don't miss the performance. It's sure to be practically perfect in every way.
Check this out. The construction trades class designed a shed for the track team and is outside today putting those plans into action. They are building it at the shot put and discus area. It is expected to house equipment to help out the track team.
Students and parents can share their memories of the 2024 senior class. You can submit pictures to be in the senior slideshow at the end of the year. Just email them to Senior Class President Trinity Campbell at the email on your screen now. They are looking for any type of school-appropriate pictures, but especially ones from the younger years. There is a limit of 10 photos per submission, and they are due May 1st. The last day to check out library books is April 26th. So if there are some you need for any project, any that you've been dying to read, or any that you need to turn in, you only have a couple weeks left to do so. The track team had a big meet over the weekend. We have the results.
And we take a deeper look into our newest documentary, Undrinkable 3 Resilience.
When you look back on it, it's almost like you can't believe that happened.
What's going on here?
There was no playbook for being poisoned.
You know, once you lose trust, that is one of the hardest things to gain back.
You never imagined that something like that could happen in the community where you live.
Will it ever go back to normal? No.
Davison was shaking off the rust last week in a combined meet, putting Davison in first place, Oxford in second, and Walled Lake in third. It came down to the girls with the last race of the night in a 4x4 mile relay. Davison ended up coming out with an outstanding .007 second win. The varsity dance team is now holding tryouts. It starts today in the cafeteria at 5:30 and will go on until 7. The tryouts will run until this Wednesday, the 17th, so make sure you show up ready. If you have any questions, you can email Coach Mazine at the email on your screen or in the daily announcements. Now let's kick it into upcoming sports. Tonight at 7, the varsity baseball team bats up over at Mount Pleasant at 3:30. And at 4, the softball team tees off here at home, also against Mount Pleasant. Then after that at 6:45, the girls soccer team plays Carmen Ainsworth in an SVL game here at home. Tomorrow at 4, the girls team plays Midland Dow for an SVL game as well. After that at 4:30, the softball team goes to Oxford High School for a non-conference. Then later at 6, girls lacrosse heads out to Midland at 7. Then the boys lacrosse team goes to White Pine Middle School to face off against Saginaw Heritage. Good luck to everyone playing. Yo, Coop, is this sun going to be out to stay for the rest of the week?
Dresden, these temps are looking to stay consistent throughout the rest of the week. However, as spring rains in, so do the storms. As we take a look throughout the rest of the week, we can see that these temps are going to go slightly down. They're going to start at 69, go all the way down to 60. So even though there's a 9-degree difference, the biggest highlight right here is the thunder. As we can see right here on Wednesday, it's going to be a very big stormy day. But we can see that these temps are going to stay consistent. Finally, spring is here for good. Hopefully, crossing my fingers and knock on wood. If we take a look at the radar, we can see the spring weather even more. There's a little bit of rain in Minnesota, but it's absolutely beautiful for the whole state of Michigan. Go outside. Speaking outside, let's check out our weather cam. And we can see it's a beautiful day. We can see a truck driving on a clear road. The grass is green, everything's bright, and go outside. I'm gonna send things back to the desk.
It's been 10 years since the Flint water crisis started, and our newly released documentary, Undrinkable 3: Resilience, covers the struggles, injustice, and future for the people of Flint.
It all started with the flip of the switch on April 25th, 2014. Leading up to the date of the anniversary, DTV will be showing the stories from the documentary one at a time on our newscast and breaking down the process. Joining us today to introduce the Open is Trent Updegraff, who worked to piece it together.
We needed a strong open to a story about an event that impacted so many lives, and it still does to this day. We also had to give a lot of background information for people not familiar with the crisis.
10 years.
There were so
years of struggling for the people of Flint through one of the biggest government-created crises this country has ever seen. And it all started with the decision to switch the city's water source to the Flint River.
I think it's an emergency. Lead is an emergency.
After many cuts to save money, the pipes were not treated correctly, which corroded them and leached lead into the city's water source, poisoning the city. The state of Michigan stayed in denial about the safety of the water, all while the people suffered the consequences. After many investigations, the truth came to the surface and they were found responsible.
We have a short-term water crisis that needs to be repaired.
The spotlight on the city just kept shrinking, and 10 years later, the Flint people are still dealing with the lasting effects of the crisis.
We as a nation, we forget things as soon as they happen.
But also from the lack of action taken by the government.
I really didn't need a glass of water. This is not a stunt.
Despite the hardships, the Flint people have risen up, showing love, leadership, passion, and most importantly, resilience.
There were so many layers to the crisis. How did you figure out which information to leave out for the viewers to find out themselves?
Cami, I wanted to hit some of the key points in the crisis and how, I didn't want to spoil it all for the rest of the story because I wouldn't want to hear the same thing twice, but I just had to pick and choose really, so I didn't overshare the information.
Like the rest of us here, you joined well after we started our initial coverage of the Flint water crisis. So what were your biggest takeaways from this?
Well, during the project, when I was working on it, I really noticed, before I started working on it, I didn't know much at all about the crisis. I just know that a lot of people were affected by it. And during the crisis, during working on the Open for the crisis, I learned a bunch about the what happened fully.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And it was just a really big eye-opener. And I also learned that it wasn't just the people that were affected. It was also just a bunch of other things than the people. Like, I'm not going to get into it, but a lot of stuff was created and changed.
Thanks, Trent. Be sure to tune in tomorrow when we will be taking a look at Cooper Austin about charges in the Flint water crisis and the lack of justice for the Flint people.
You can watch the full documentary Undrinkable 3: Resilience now on our YouTube channel. Just search DTV News. Well, I think that'll do it for us here at DTV. Thank you so much for watching, Davison. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.